All right, so we are live, and this is going to be a solo one. Just me and without DJ Marmalade, cause she got other stuff going on. This is the last thing she needs to be doing. But wanted to get some stuff off my chest, and basically the whole point of me. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the little intro. I'm only used to doing it with Momo when she's on here. But anyway, okay, let's start over. And we're live WWID without DJ Marmalade. Alright, so anyway, the whole point of these podcasts and whatnot and things involving my grandma is I've kind of got a whole futuristic goal with my writings and stuff. And, my grandma's been there through everything with me, the ups and the downs, and when I was homeless, all that stuff, she's been there. And I just don't think me having my tattoos that represent her, the tattoos on my arm for her, I don't think that's enough. So I want to have something to, always look back on, and I want her to be a part of my writings and everything. I want her to live through my writings and stuff. That's why I just napped the whole HOCWWID thing. I just napped it. I'm just like, okay, so I'll just nap that and make my artist name because that's something that me and her shared. So that is going to be a representation of not only me but also her. And a lot of my performances at open mic, a lot of them are about grandma, a lot of them. And, stuff, me writing and predicting, the future emotions and whatnot. Me just writing those out. But yeah, writing's always been an outlet for me. But when I was not on medication or getting help, writing was more of a way to keep sanity in a way. I'd have to write every single night because I was so paranoid out of my mind each night. A lot of people say, well, I know what you mean. I struggle with all the blah, blah, blah and all this. No, I mean, literally from when I woke up, I was paranoid to when I would go to sleep, I was paranoid. I was very, very paranoid. And that's why certain things can trigger my paranoia. Sure, I'm on medicine, but medicine only helps you with recognizing what is causing it. Getting out of it is another. Now, one thing I've noticed, I can identify a negative environment. I can recognize that and I need to get out. But certain things like lately, which is what I've been venting a lot, is emotion-wise. Lots been going on, and I'm trying to remain strong. My caseworker, love her to death. She's helped me out through a lot, but the recent visiting really messed me up because, she had good intentions. She had good intentions, no doubt. Good intentions. She's just looking out for me. She don't want nothing to happen to me. Because, with my diagnosis, I'm like a little frickin' kid in an adult body, man. And, a lot of people don't even understand that. But That's the point of my writings and stuff. That's another reason why I want my grandma to be a part of the writings. See, my grandma is not vocal enough with her illness and what she's going through and whatnot. But nah, me, I'm the opposite. I'm the freaking opposite. Once I found out everything, I was mad, like this bull crap. But eventually I got over it, and now I just want to educate people to try to get a better understanding for me, because it's not like I'm complaining. I'm not using the whole my mental illness, blah blah blah, this, and that's why I can't have a good life, blah blah blah. It's not it at all. I have a good life. I made it this far. I got my own freaking apartment and stuff. I got my own car. You know, I just sometimes certain emotions, when you're so used to getting something in a routine is developed, even though that routine that was developed was not how it was supposed to be, you end up building a dependency on it. And that's basically what's happened. Every now and then, I'm in my apartment, I can get lonely, and then I start thinking on things, and, they're like, for example, like one of my friends told me, dude, just get out. You gotta go out, man. Don't stay cooped up. There ain't nothing to do at 3:38 in the morning, unless I want to do a Walmart run. No, I don't want to do a Walmart run. You can sleep too. Sleep, I don't know, sleep and depression for me does not mix very well. Because, I'm trying to fight it every day, get up. But man, there's just this epitome of loneliness. And it was since my caseworker visit, man. Man, I don't know, I'll explain it. So basically, I got, the beginning of the year, I had a little problem, and I got swindled, out of a lot of money, but it's okay, I learned from it, my friends helped me out with it, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that freaking, went through this. When you're experiencing in these type of, let's say, the gentleman's club, I was very inexperienced there. And what happened. It was like blindsided. But I recovered, I'm fine. But you gotta just learn to say no. See, that's my problem. I'm not used to that kind of surrounding. And me communicating with, someone that I would find attractive, I stutter a lot. I can't properly communicate. And I want people to understand how hard it is, for me to even show emotions. If I'm talking to you regular, I look at you like a regular human being, If I'm showing, emotions and whatnot, hugging and whatnot, and that's another thing. It's you're more of a closer friend. But if it comes down to stuttering and repetitive subject matters and stuff, it's that's me having a liking. I don't know how to properly communicate. Now, y'all gotta remember, man, and I'm gonna express this in all my writings. But I'm gonna do it to a point to where I'm not downing myself or downing anybody. I don't want to do that. I used to do that a lot in my old writings. That's kind of why I won't release my old writings. They're released. They're out there. If you can find them, go. Good for you. Go look for them. They're out there. But I'm not going to advertise them. If you find them, just know that it's an example of where I was at mentally before I got help. But now I've learned how to write with the medicine, which is amazing because, to be honest, when I first started taking the medicine, I couldn't write at all. And that was a downer. Then I tried to find other hobbies, and I did. I mastered the Etch-a-Sketch and got into Rubik's Cube, I did a Tetris phases. I do Tetris phases every now and then. But, now it just feels good to be writing again. But I want to take a different approach. I want people to understand the labyrinth of my emotions. Because one thing that I've always struggled with emotionally was people understanding when I like them. They don't understand that I like them. And it's kind of like, well, dang. And I make it freaking obvious, too. Even my friends know when I make it obvious, too. But, I just have a feeling if I just, put up with all this and don't give in to temptation or something's good going to come out of it. And here lately, I have been going on some strange vents to, people who aren't random. I mean, they're people I'm trying to become friends with. And I might come off like, just straight up venting. It's because I'm tired of going back to where I was. I'm tired of going back. I don't want to. And I'm doing everything within my power to keep moving forward. I'm going to do anything, even if that means vocalizing something to, someone who I'm trying to consider a friend. I don't care what I said to you. What I'm trying to say is I am doing everything in my power that I can. The thing is I don't know how to live life, in stable manner. I just found out that, dating apps and stuff are just hookup apps, and it's like, what? Well, no wonder I wasn't having the success on it. Because I did get matches, but no one ever wanted to do anything. And now I know why. And I was like, oh, okay. Well then. See, I don't know how to properly even get into that subject by how I was raised. Like, my mom drilled in me to respect women, drilled into me. And I guess you could say I took it a step too far. Because in my head, like a relationship or romance or anything was like a Disney fairy tale. I mean, even as an adult, like it was bad. And I've had to, once I got help, I had to rewire that. Like they were helping me with, kind of rewiring with how I think. And it's the thing with it is with me being diagnosed autistic and all this other stuff is like they can't give me the proper help I need because, when you're a kid, they could do more, but since they can't name the exact spectrum I'm on, like my brain's already programmed the way it is, and so basically I try to make do. That's why I got a caseworker. I got to see her every week. We did one where we were once a month, and we did one where we took it all off. Come to find out we can't do that because, especially right now, I'm not seeing her this Monday because of Memorial Day, which kind of throw me off because, I got a bunch of stuff that I got to get organized emotionally because I don't know how to stay strong sometimes. And then I got sometimes where I just want to cave in. Basically, the main thing from keeping me going back is one of the women that is at the Gentleman's Club. And I would go see her, and she would make me so friggin' happy, just chilling, hanging out, whatevs. And you know. And I don't know, it struck me in a whole new light after a conversation that we had. And I don't know, I don't know, I felt like, I had value in my life, I was cleaning around my apartment and all this stuff, and it's odd. And then, like, when she would text me and say, "Oh, I'm at work," blah blah blah, I would get all spiffied up and all this stuff, and it was nice. And I've never haven't done that in frickin' years, man, years. Like, I'm talking early 20s, so that's about like 8 years, Um, but I guess what you can say is, well, after my caseworker told me, she was like telling me stuff about, well, be aware of your surroundings. You know, people get robbed, people get beat up, people get killed. And when she told me that, the only thing playing in my head is me walking to the sidewalk, going there, and then just someone coming up to me with a gun and just putting it at my stomach and just pulling the trigger as I just lay on the sidewalk, just bleeding out because they didn't like how I was acting there or something, I don't know. But see, the thing is with me and my paranoia is these things will play in my head over and over and over and over, and it would terrify me. Like, I was very freaking terrified to the point to where I let the woman know, yo, I'm paranoid out of my mind right now. I just want to make sure that I'm okay and whatnot. The thing is I think it's her work. I think that's her work phone. So she only answers it when she's about going to work, whatnot. So I respect that, no problem. I didn't do overkill. I was just a paranoid mess, but I can be when I was not on medicine. It would be pretty bad, and like I'd have to get the okay. Like, yo, just tell me I'll be okay. I'll be fine. So just give me the okay. Like, you guys don't know what fear is, but when you were living like that as a kid, wake up every day thinking you're going to die every single day. And I remember I would tell my mom. Mom would tell me, stop thinking like this. You're too young to be thinking, but I cannot stop thinking like that. The medicine helps me because I would be so paranoid of people. I would just be paranoid. That's why I had reclusive behavior. I just didn't want to be around. But basically the point of my writing is I want people to understand the emotions that I have experienced when I wasn't on medicine to even now. Now it's more laid back. I don't get the rapid thoughts. But when I did get paranoid of, that predicament, like it was like every now and then I would just see the visual of me being happy walking down the sidewalk and just a group of people come up. This guy has a gun tucked in like under his side and he just pulls it up to my stomach and just and next thing you know I'm just bleeding out and just dropping on the sidewalk. Just watching him bleed out. Like y'all don't even understand like paranoia and fear, like, until you've experienced that. There was actually one guy at open mic who actually appreciated one of my morbid writings that I did because, he suffers from schizophrenia. And that's what I mean. I want people to know you're not alone. Like, I don't give a crap what the heck I'm saying on that stage. But because you know what? I got the balls to say what I'm saying because I'm tired of people not understanding. And that's the problem with my grandma. There are people who don't understand my grandma. They don't think it is severe as it is. But I've had to talk my grandma out of tons of different things. Her episodes. Hers is more on the verge of suicide. She will go on a suicidal fit. And when I told my mom that, like, my mom was shocked. My mom didn't know that. That's what I mean. My grandma does not want to vocalize these things. But, like, when I had my episode, see, my episodes are the opposite. And the only way that it goes to a point of where suicide crosses my mind is when I don't want to hurt anybody. That's the only way. That's when because I went to go commit suicide at 25. Like, I mean, it was bad. I did a writing about it, and I performed it. Because, like, I don't think anyone knows how it feels to be that low. But I know, because I had to see, when I was not on medication, I was always on the phone, always on the phone. Because I had to keep a sane person on the phone because, I'll be thinking straight 1 minute, and then I might take a curveball and take something wrong, and I'd have to like recalculate what the frick's going on, and and I'd usually have I know my friend Laura, she did her bidding. Thank you so much, you're a great friend. Was always on the phone with me. My ex was always on the phone with me, and she was the one that saved me that day, and I'm thankful for that. I'm very thankful for her, and I hope her and her kids are doing well. I don't wish nothing bad on her, I just want the best for her, But that day, it scared her, because I was literally out on the highway, I was numb to my feet. And when I say numb, I can't move. And my foot was like lead. And I planned it all out, and I had her on the phone with me, because whenever I got in an argument with my parents, I would have to go in my car and leave, because the thoughts would get so frickin' bad. I mean, it was beyond bad. That's what I mean. What y'all don't understand is, life was a battle zone each day, each and every day. It was times where I'd be paranoid of my own parents. It was bad. And just trying to find sanity and stuff. Life's been rough on me, and and now that I am trying to stay away from something that's not helping me prosper, now I'm just trying to solve everything and trying to normalize myself in a way where I can be stable. But anyway, so yeah, I had my ex on the phone, and I'm at the church on 129, and my plan, I was waiting for a semi-truck to be driving, and as soon as I saw a semi-truck coming, I was going to floor it, and I was going to hit it head on, so that way there's no chance of survival, KO, knockout, dead. That was my plan, and don't know if she left work, I don't remember. But I remember her saying, James, you stay there. I've never heard you talk like this. I was far gone. Gone. I remember I was texting stuff to my parents and whatnot, saying, I don't remember what I was texting them. But, yeah, I was, dead serious. She had to pull me out of my car, because I was so numb to the seat. And, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I wouldn't wish what I got on anybody. But if I can educate someone, that'd be the world. See, the only thing that I have trouble with, is when it comes to, dating. Dating is so, it's normalized. Everyone has a good dating life. But like me, it's rough. It's tough. And then I found a show called The Undateables, and I saw this dude who was a constant stutter on his dates. But yet when he's not on a date, he talks just fine. And that's my problem right there. If I see that someone is attracted to me and stuff, and they even, I get all dumb. I don't know what, and it's the same at the gentleman's club. I get freaking dumb. And, but the woman who I go there to see, she's patient with me. I pay her. She hangs out with me. It's great. It's like a date once a month. It's awesome. And, she always makes me feel like $1 million, and I tell her that every time. Man, you make me feel so good, but my caseworker just had to stomp on it And when she said that someone can kill you, I'm like, holy crap, someone's gonna freaking kill me. Like, that's my fear right there. It's just someone just killing me for no apparent reason. Like, I don't want to die just like the next guy. I don't want to die. No one wants to die. But, like, when you're a paranoid person like myself, like, when someone tells you those kind of predicaments, those kind of environments, you'll get killed, I was terrified. So, I've talked to some friends. One of them, he goes on the regular to that place. And, he was telling me, bro, ain't no one going to mess with you, blah, 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 blah. If you want, like, I'll get my brother to look out for you. He's there all the time, too. And, like, that put me at ease. But the only thing that didn't put me at ease is I didn't never get everything's going to be okay from her. So it was like, I'm respecting the boundaries. I understand that's her work phone, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I feel like it's like I know she knows that I'm not all there a lot, but I don't think she understands the severity of the matter. So I tried to open up a little bit, just to give her better understanding. Because her customer service skills are freaking beyond amazing. Like, but it's a tough job for her. I'm pretty sure. I know it is. To deal with all that, to deal with people, people's emotional problems and stuff. I know I ain't the only one with emotional problems going there. It's just, that's like a whole different world. And that's what I am attracted to. And I've always, see, what I've noticed, like when I was growing up, I was always on these virtual reality games. IMVU, Second Life, all these games. And my avatars were always, like, with being in those virtual reality games, I can actually be my emotional self that I was sheltering all my life. And that's kind of why I would always cling to reclusing myself. And so I would get on these games. All my relationships were on the games. I didn't know what a real life relationship felt like because my emotional self was always alienated, was always alienated, and the way how I act like a kid was always alienated. So pretty much is like I was always quiet, and I was just, I don't know, I was a depressed freaking kid because I couldn't properly express myself without someone saying something, and like now I don't even care. Like, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be proud of who I am and how I feel and whatnot. I don't care anymore. Like, I've lived a lie. Though, James, you probably know that's a lie, Like, I hid my writings from a lot of people for a long time. Only a select few people knew my writings and all this stuff. And, a lot of the people on the virtual reality games knew my writings. Like, they would follow them. Like, if you find some of those old ones, you'll see people with, like, pictures of their avatar on the games, like, commenting it, because that was my life, like, virtual reality. Everything, like, So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take who I was in that virtual reality, because that's what I was attracted to. I was appealed by how I dressed my avatar, and that's another funny thing. In those virtual reality games, I would go to the gentleman's club. Go figure. So I'm trying to incorporate however I was there, I want to incorporate it here. And I don't know if it works out the same dang way, but like, I got the septum piercing just like I used to have on my avatars. I'm starting to dress like how I used to dress on my avatar, with the colorful type clothing and all that stuff. Just finally being proud of what appeals to me. And, since I've been myself, you won't believe this, but a lot of people, I'm like at Go Bar not long ago, a woman asked me, dude, are you on the spectrum? And I was like, yeah, how could you tell? She's like, by how you act and stuff, you're just so nice and everything, and I could just tell because I'm on the spectrum. And I was like, oh, okay. That's like the second, third time that's happened. Like, it's so freaking cool to find people like me. And because I noticed when she found out, she was more comfortable around me because I was just like her. So I want to find more people like that. But, yeah, basically, like, Hocwwid with relationships and stuff, like, it terrifies me. Like, it terrifies me. A relationship just terrifies me. So everything that I went through, I just don't want to go through anything. Like, I don't want to experience it again, and I have trouble starting over anyway, as it is. That's kind of why, like, on the subject matters of, like, anything sex-related or anything that can be classified as sexual harassment, I cannot do it, because that's something that my mom drilled in me to a point to where it was like, what can I do? Like there was nothing else I could do. So I just didn't do anything. I don't know. Life is weird. It's very weird. But I try to adapt. Sure, I want people to be patient with me, but is it going to happen? I know Athens, I'm noticing in this area, a lot of people are more impatient with people, and I like that. But yeah, on the subject of like sex or anything, related to that, like, it's hard for me to even bring it up because, like, I am so freaking scared of offending or anything, you know what I mean? I cannot bring it up. It's terrifying. And there's other things that, usual subject matters that would even lead on to that, like I'm even terrified of doing that. That's kind of why the gentleman's club is like the icebreaker, like it's already broken. That subject matter's broken. Like, because as soon as you're in there, that's pretty much what everyone's in there for. It's already broken. Oh, yeah. But you know what's funny? I had that same problem on the virtual reality games, but to where I would basically bottle it up until I would explode on someone, and I did that a frickin' lot. When I got older, too, it was worse. Oh my gosh, it was worse. I used to freaking, like, blow up. And I used to crash rooms, chat rooms. I would crash the rooms. I would get the rooms temporarily banned because I would be using, like, spam bots to crash it and all this stuff. Like, I would just throw, like, a fit. And I was a grown adult acting like a 4-year-old kid throwing a fit because I didn't know how to, show my emotions. I wanted them to already know that I wanted them to bring it up. Basically, I guess what you could say is like basically like a dominant role for a female is awesome, which is why I attract to that gentleman's club. There's tons of dominant women. You just walk in there, if you're in their place, they're going to talk to you. That's why it's so nice. Like, go in there, grab a soda, sit down, and then you're just being approached. They're conversating with you. It's so freaking nice, and it's like, why can't it be like this everywhere, Now I will admit, when I was getting out of my shell and I was learning, like, dancing and whatnot, the dance moves that I was always obsessed with when I was a kid on the virtual reality games was industrial dancing. I learned how to do it, and I would go on Hedges on Broad, and I would just do it, and, like, I was the only dude out there dancing. Like, one of the staff members, like, he always gave me props when I came in there, because like he was like, hey bro, I really enjoy you dancing. And they would get a kick out of it. They loved watching me dance. I was just having a good time. But one thing that really terrified me was when the women would approach me. They would approach me in a pack. So it would be like 5 women coming up to me, and I would dance with them all, no problems, whatever. But it's like, what do I do? Do I just dance? Like, I don't know what to do. So so basically, I would get the dancing, they would dance with me, blah blah blah, and then they'd go about their business, whatever. But it's like, what am I supposed to do? What does this mean to society when they approach you like that? Because it was intimidating to me. And then my friend Daryl, him and my friend OJ dropped some knowledge on me. Like, women are naturally scared of us, dude. You gotta remember that. They're naturally scared of us. You just gotta be patient with them and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that. But it totally makes sense. Ever since I met these dudes, they have been helping me out like a ton. And it's been making life, well, it's kind of made it to where it's kind of like, wow, I was lied to all these years by the women, and now I know it's like a freaking, like, a lot of it is like reverse psychology, which made me mad. Like, I'm like, what the heck? Like, why do they even why do they say that if they don't want you to do it, but then they want you to do that? And it's like, oh, this. And it's just like, I don't like it. And, once I found that out, it's like, well, then that's it. Like, I just don't find submissive women attractive anymore, because that's pretty much what they do. They manipulate to where you do that, and it's like, no. Oh, I don't like when people do this. Oh, okay, well, I respect that. That's going to be me. Oh, you don't like that? Okay, well, I respect that. Oh, you do? Okay, well, I respect that. That's something that is hard to freaking break, and I can't go with what I don't feel comfortable doing. Like, and I don't know. Once I've, met that dancer, man, she was freaking, I mean, I've never seen someone, like, with that much, woman empowerment, basically, I guess you could say. It was just so attractive. I still freaking attractive. And, I wish her nothing but the best in her future. She's an amazing woman. She works hard. But, I don't want to make it too much about her. But, I don't know. I just want people to get an understanding of me and, how I am. I don't know how to properly do a lot of things. I'm 20 freaking 8. I know it's sad, but look how far I came, man. Like, man, I'm performing. I'm not sheltering my writings no more. I came a long freaking way. I don't know. But, man, just trying to, do life and figure out everything. It's just like when you find out things you didn't know, which would have made your life like a ton easier. Like, it's like, man. So that means all these times, like, there was all these times I could have did this or this or this. Like, then this would have happened and this would have happened and this would have happened probably. But since I didn't do that, then I don't get that. I didn't get that X. Tons of X's because of myself, basically. But yeah. So the reason for the podcast and whatnot is to get people to know who my grandma is. Because not only does she want to be understood finally. I mean, man, my grandma's 70 freaking 1. And her own kids don't understand her because she shelters everything. I told her she needs to be more vocal. And I don't know if she's going to be more vocal, but I want my grandma to have the best life of whatever the rest, however long she's going to live, I want her to have the best of that, But at least I am trying to get people understand not only me, but her. Because the more people that end up understanding what we go through, the more easier our life will be. You know? I don't know. If you listen this long, thank you. It's just, I got this podcast idea from, I think his name's Larry at the open mic. He always advertises his podcast, and I was like, man, I want to do that. That's a good idea. I can really just vent my emotions. Because, you know, some people probably won't like my music at all, because my music it's a unique freaking taste. I mean, I personally like it because, okay, so let me tell you guys, like, what got me into, like, doing writings like that and whatnot, because, like, I don't even call myself a freaking rapper. I don't know what the frick I call myself. I just call it my writings. However I feel, that's how I'm going to express it, like, right there. And one thing I always like to do is I like to do the really high-pitched voices. I love high-pitched voices. I don't know why. I just do. The higher I can get my vocals to go, the better. And no, it's not auto-tune. It's nothing like that coming out for me. If you come to my performances, you will see that is my actual voice. People at work hear my voice all the time because it used to be my phone voice for a while. But now it's hit or miss. Like sometimes, because it's hard to turn on. And it's weird. It's so weird. It's like a separate personality in me. Yeah, that's another thing I did with my old writings too, is I would have people feature on my songs. But it would be me with a completely changed voice. And I would literally create these characters because I didn't have friends to do music with me and stuff, so I would like make my own friends in my own head, and I would have them in my songs and whatnot. That's kind of why the HOC is House of Chaos, but then the C is crossed out, and then you put craft, because I've learned to make the chaos in my mind an art craft, and you know, WWID, which is what would I do with this craft? What would I do with this chaos? You know, I turn that chaos into a craft where I can educate people, and you know, in hopes for people to get a better understanding of not only me but my grandma, because I want my grandma to have the best rest of her life, because she's had it rough, especially with her mental illness, and all she wants is her kids to understand her, her family to understand her. But the thing is, she tells me everything. Like, I know everything from her upbringing, from her mental illness, because when I was having my moments, she would compare it to her moments and all this stuff. And, like, she was always didn't want me to tell anybody. But now, after seeing how my mom responded when I came to my sister when I had my episode, and she came along with me to the caseworker when I went to go see my caseworker, that meant the world to me. Because it's like she wants to understand. She's trying her best. You know, all those times when I was in school, making bad grades. I mean, I was a freaking fifth year. I got held back, second grade, I know. I don't know if I got held back another year. But I got held back senior year, too. Because my grades were freaking horrible. I was struggling. Like, I struggled throughout school, like, all my freaking life. Like, it was so hard for me to make good grades. And then, like, now it all makes sense when I got my diagnosis back and stuff. Like, ugh. You know, I just want life to be easier. I want people to understand. And ever since my friend Jason introduced me to open mic, like, it's been a whole different ball game. I don't want anyone to think different of me. Because, you know, Jason, he knows me as a positive dude. But then when I start coming with all these dark writings and stuff, like, I don't even know if he thinks differently of me. I don't think he does. It's like, I just want to educate people. I want people to understand. I just want to be understood. I want happiness, too. You know, I want friends. I want I want the girlfriends. I want the dating life. I want all that stuff. And see, that's my weakness is love. And that is one thing I've always appealed to. You know, but what I had to realize that it's not like Disney fairy tales. It's like, oh man. I mean, like it's hard to get that out of my head now. Holy, life is freaking tough, man. But you know what? I try my best to live every day that I can, and I cannot let moments get me down. That's why I made this, so people can understand me, hear my writings, and also there's little snippets on here, basically showing you what me and Grandma were talking about, like where I showed her this in the video, I showed her this in the video, or something related to whatever we're talking about, because sooner or later we're going to have a collection of these, and eventually those are going to be involved in my writings. I got a whole plan orchestrated out, so all I can say is just ride along, and hopefully someone finds interest in getting to know me, and maybe we can be friends, maybe we can go grab coffee, or maybe you can come to one of my performances, or maybe you can come karaoke with me, I don't know. Yeah, if you want to be my friend, I'm more than welcome to it, you know. If you want to go on a date, let me know, stuff like that, because 10 out of 10, I probably won't approach you, but I'm working on it. I am working on that. I've gotten a lot better. It's just hard. It's hard for me to change the way of how I'm used to, you know. You might find this like I hope no one finds this like I'm whining. I'm not whining. I'm more informing. But anyway, it is what it is. Take from it what you will. I'm gonna shut this off, and yeah, I hope you got a better understanding of me on this side, because you know a lot of my writings are about stuff from the past, or stuff that I want, stuff that I've dealt with, and you know, basically telling people they're not alone. If you feel this way too, don't be ashamed, blah blah. Like, you got a friend here, I'll be your friend, blah blah. And like, yeah. Anyway, signing off. We're out.